My friends, let me just confess, Democrats lost on Tuesday. Now, I have a question for all of you who are fans of the Tea Party. I mean, what's wrong with the Tea Party? They throw more rallies than we hold parades in New Orleans. But I want some beads, not just, some shouts. So I'm looking forward to greeting some of these Tea Party folks in Washington, D.C. In fact, I agree with the president. We should have a Slurpee fest. I've already come up with some Engelberry Slurpees, white chocolate in honor of our president because he's biracial, passion fruit for all of those who are still a little bit excited about the election, and of course, I want a single malt Slurpee for those of us who are reading the obituary section of the paper and not the front pages anymore. But the truth is that it was indeed, as President Obama admitted yesterday, it was a shellacking. It was tough. It was brutal. We had anticipated losses of about 20 to 25 seats. And quite frankly, James Carville said that it would probably be a Category 5. And I said, James, let's not bring Katrina back. He said, no, this is worse than Katrina. And I had no idea. It would end up being 60 House members, of course, 900 state legislative seats, the vast number of governors, Wisconsin, Pennsylvania, of course, Michigan, Florida. Many of us are focused on 2012, and right now we don't know where we'll be able to stay because the Republicans seem to butt up all of the real estate in all of those great states. The truth of the matter is that this is a wake-up call to both the president as well as the Congress. Now, Congress is as popular as a root canal. With 25% approval rating, I don't think anyone should write home right now and say, we won, because the American people clearly sent the message that they want members of Congress to try to work together to bring civility back and, of course, to get something done about the economy. Now, if this was the People Choice Award and the president who remains the most popular person in Washington, D.C., clearly we would find a little bit more reason to be excited tonight. But it's going to be a very tough and difficult 2 years. Right now, the Republicans are renting one chamber. I say renting because voters will likely fire the Republicans. They fired the Democrats, they fired the Republicans. And they're in this mood now where they want to just keep changing the individuals in power until they get it right. But this is going to be a very important moment for the country because Congress, when they come back for the lame duck session, remember, it's lame duck, not turkey. It's, they have appropriations bills. They have a lot of work on looking at the president's debt commission, and of course, they'll have to wrap things up for Speaker Pelosi, who, by the way, she wears Prada. So I don't want to get rid of Nancy Pelosi anytime soon. The dress standards will go down if we replace Speaker Pelosi too quickly with someone else. Come on. You will lose half your material, Tucker, if we replace Speaker Pelosi.
Oh, the trade-off is worth it, Donna.
I know. But let me just say this, and I know I want to give Tucker his 15 minutes here. But let me just say that 2012 will be an exciting year for us Democrats. It's going to be like Star Wars. We're going to see all of these candidates come from the galaxy to try to run for the presidency of the United States. I'm betting on Sarah Palin. I mean, if she can re-energize the Republican Party and galvanize the Tea Party movement, and of course, gather up all those Mama Grizzly and bring more women into the political process, then my money right now is on Sarah Palin. I don't know about Tucker, but if Sarah Palin fails to win the nomination, then I guess I will look at Mitt Romney. After all, other than Anderson, who is my boo, no question, Mitt Romney is so good on the eyes, I would vote for him if I had a... He's very good on the eyes. I don't know if there's anything else to him, but there's a lot to just looking at him every day. And beyond Sarah Palin and Mitt Romney, of course, we're going to have an assorted number of candidates who've run before, know the political landscape: Newt Gingrich, Mike Huckabee, Rudy Giuliani. But look to some of these new up-and-coming governors. Of course, Mitch Daniels of Indiana has talked about Haley Barbour from Mississippi, my own governor, Bobby Jindal. But I think there's going to be another mystery candidate that will emerge coming from the Republican caucus and the Tea Party. That merger, by the way, we have not seen yet. But look for 2012 to be a very exciting electoral season. Well, you'll see more of me on CNN and, of course, more of Tucker trying to dance with another familiar star. So with that, let me turn it over to my former colleague, Mr. Tucker Carlson.
Thank you, Donna. Well, I'll summarize it this way. In any normal year, we would know, in effect, who the Republican nominee is going to be, because the Republican Party, and if you're familiar with Republicans, you know this already, is an entirely orderly party. It's a hierarchical party that hates chaos. You invite a Democrat and a Republican to dinner, who comes on time? You know the answer. Republicans do not like free-for-alls. The Democratic Party, you know, who knows what could happen? You know what I mean? Like, your average Democratic nominating process, some weird governor from Vermont will show up and, like, almost get it, or some state senator from Illinois will get, you know, the nomination. I mean, it's wide open. But on the Republican side, you always know that the oldest guy is going to get the nomination. It's true. And you go through the kabuki where you have an evangelical candidate, maybe two, and you have a Wall Street candidate and a couple of governors and a TV show host, and obviously Alan Keyes runs. But in the end, you know who the guy is, right? Once all the game playing is done and all, you know, the show's over, you nominate the adult. In this case, it would be Mitt Romney, and I agree with you. He certainly looks the part. he looks like the result of some genetic experiment designed to produce the perfect presidential candidate. You know,
Absolutely.
He's got that Easter Island-like head. You know, he's perfect.
Chisel, like he's waiting to
totally.
get on Mount Rushmore.
You can imagine is, you know, overlooking a bluff.
Yeah.
But the thing about this year that makes it so striking, and in fact makes it a departure from every nominating process during the time I've been born, I'm 41, is this: Mitt Romney's not going to get the nomination. And we can say that, I think, with some certainty, not because of his religion or because he flip-flops, though he does, but look, smart people flip-flop, let's just be honest. Flip-flopping is overrated as a political trope, right? I mean, when the evidence changes, so do your conclusions, one hopes. Dumb people stay the course. So, I mean, that's just, come on, you're in business, you know this. And no, that's just true. So his flip-flopping, we may not all flip-flop as much as he. I just say, I was actually there in '94 when he was running for Senate in Massachusetts against Ted Kennedy, and he was asked on camera by a reporter his position on gay rights. And he looked right into the camera and said, "If elected, I will be more for gay rights than Ted Kennedy." Which is a metaphysical impossible. You'd have to be living with a dude to be more for gay rights. It's impossible. Whatever. Anyway, but he's not going to get it because one reason. Romney Care in Massachusetts. You may love it, you may despise it, doesn't matter. It is, frankly, the prototype for Obamacare, which is despised by Republican primary voters, and they're not going to elect him their candidate as a result. So the bottom line is, as Donna suggested, a wide open primary, and she's right. You will, Sarah Palin's going to run, and that's marvelous, and I love her. She's hot, she fly fishes, I'm in love, okay, fine. But she's not getting the nomination. Her base isn't big enough. The nomination is going to, I actually know who's going to get the nomination, and I'll share it with you, just kind of intimate group here. Chris Christie of New Jersey is going to be the Republican nominee. It's true. Donna's absolutely right. And it's not because he looks the part, that's for certain. He's from New Jersey. He's too liberal on the social issues for the Republican primary voters, typically. He's got a voice that sounds like a malfunctioning electric razor. You know, he's kind of... Everywhere I go, I meet Republicans who have seen YouTube videos of Chris Christie yelling at the heads of public employee unions. And they can't get enough of it. There's this enormous crazy man with a bullwhip in one hand, a microwave burrito in the other, and he's just laying into him. And it's like Republican porn. They're just hitting replay, replay, replay. And they love it. And they love it because he fits the moment. Republicans feel like there has been a profound and deeply sad, so sad that few people articulate it, and I won't now, but there has been a turning point in the country, and we're truly in the wrong direction. I mean, like, in a real way. And the reason we're heading in that direction is because we have deluded ourselves about how much we can afford to spend. And that it's going to, especially on entitlements, and which remain very popular. And the net result is it's going to take a complete psycho, a kamikaze, to tell the truth about what we need to do to right the ship. And he's the only psycho in the race. He will be the nominee.
All right, well, since...